Hi, so welcome to FlyGrowEvolve. Today we have a very interesting video for everyone. So I have with me Tanaya Ranade, who has received an admit for the MS in Business Analytics program at the University of California at Irvine. Right? So the idea behind this video is to understand a little bit about Tanaya, understand the process that she went through during the applications and some of the reasons that she ended up deciding to study MS in Business Analytics at UC Irvine. So Tanay, do you want to give us a little bit of background about yourself, what have you done so far, etc.?
Yeah, sure. So, hi, I'm Tanaya. My background in my undergrad is in liberal arts. I did my undergrad from Flame University in Pune. I had a psychology major and a digital marketing minor. And currently, I'm pursuing my fourth year over there as a postgraduate student in interdisciplinary research and studies.
Okay, that's interesting. So what got you interested in exploring studying abroad as an option?
I was very keen on going abroad for getting a very global experience because I stepped out of my house for my undergraduate studies as well. So I was keen on taking that next step after that. And I believe that curriculum is very important for me. So I was looking for something specialized, something that I wouldn't be able to get in India for a master's level study, which is why I was considering a few abroad options, especially in the US.
Okay, so that was actually going to be my next question, right? So when someone looks at studying abroad, there are a variety of country options that are available, and I'm sure you also explored a few of them. So which were the ones that you explored as possibilities?
I actually only looked at the US. I did think of applying to Australia, Canada, or UK maybe, but I was firm on having to work there after my education. So I thought US would have the best job opportunities for the kind of course I was going for. And I had heard from a few other friends about the kind of job securities available in those other countries, which is why I finalized US. I also have a lot of family in the US and friends, so I was more biased towards US.
Okay, nice. So typically, when someone looks at studying in the US, usually they want to study a STEM program, right? Because STEM program gives you a longer stay back after completion of your education. And you came from a liberal arts background, right? Which is not STEM at all. So was that something that sort of made you have some apprehensions about studying in the US, or how did you go about still pursuing US with a non-STEM background?
I still have those apprehensions because I'm wondering if I'll be able to cope up with the curriculum. But the entire point of going to the US is to pursue something more data or analytically driven, because those kind of courses are not here in India as of now, and that kind of work is also not being done in the Indian industry, at least in marketing as of now. Which is why I am very keen on pursuing that. I also took a few courses in my fourth year, which were in programming, in data analytics, which I really enjoyed. And it was fun to put it together with my non-STEM background, especially with psychology and digital marketing. So, which is why I'm actually excited to pursue a STEM degree in the US now.
Okay, nice. But in terms of your applications, how were you able to bring out the quantitative aspects in your profile? Because ultimately, when a university is reviewing your application for a STEM program, they also want to understand your quantitative background and your ability to be able to complete a course which is going to be fairly quantitative.
Right. So for that, I had to do a little bit extra work because I didn't have those kind of courses to show in my transcript. So I took up a research assistantship at my university, which gave me a lot of quant-based research experience, which proved that I can handle statistics and those kind of topics. I also participated in an international competition, which was about running a digital marketing campaign for a client. So that also involved a lot of data handling and analytics, and we were able to win in that competition. So that also was a good proof that I can handle quantitative problems. So you have to go a bit beyond your normal curriculum if you don't have data or quant-based courses in your college. But that is also a lot of fun, and it's very helpful because I feel like that made my profile stand out more than others who are from typical engineering backgrounds.
Okay. And do you think having written your GRE also sort of played a role? Because these days many universities waive off GREs or make GREs optional. But given that you did not have a quantitative background, do you think having a GRE score helped you with the process?
Definitely, it also helped me brush up on my quant skills, and I feel like it also keeps your options open, because if you in the future want to apply to a university that is not giving the GRE waiver, you having done the GRE is always a good thing, and I think it helps with your visa as well.
Sure. So tell us about what were you looking at from a program? I mean, when you went about shortlisting programs or universities, what criteria did you have in mind? What were you looking for?
Well, initially I was looking at marketing programs. So when I was looking at them, the curriculum had to be such that it was giving me something more than what I've already studied. So I wanted to learn something new, which is why I fixed on analytics, also because of the STEM option. And so firstly it was about curriculum, then about some programs offer you an internship period or a capstone project. That was also a very big important factor for me, and the location of the university was also equally important.
So based on all of these criteria, which universities and programs did you apply?
So I applied to 4 universities. 3 of them were for marketing analytics programs. That was University of Arizona, Purdue University, and University of Rochester. And I applied to a business analytics program at University of California in Irvine.
Okay, so given that your interest was mostly in marketing analytics, what got you interested in the business analytics program at Irvine?
The business analytics program was so the core courses offered in both these programs were the same, because they basically got you prepared for analytics and statistical analysis. And the one at Irvine has a bit more management science aspect to it, but it also has a marketing analytics track, which fits in well with my earlier pursuit.
And were the durations of the program also something that you considered?
Yeah, definitely. They were all above, at least equal to or above 12 months. So I could do an internship during the break.
Okay, so I mean, sort of talk to us about the internship. I mean, because there are many programs, especially business analytics programs these days, which are less than 1 year, right? And as you rightly said, you can't do a internship if your program is less than 1 year because of the US visa rules and things like that. So, from your perspective, why was an internship so important that you use this as a criteria to filter programs?
In my case, I think it's more important because I don't have any full-time work experience, and I'm coming from a non-STEM background going into a STEM program. So for my employability after I'm graduating from the MS program, it would be better if I have some US-based work experience, even if it's just an internship.
Yeah, no, I think that makes sense. I think especially for students who come without work experience, having that 2 or 3 months of internship definitely increases your chances of getting a good job after graduation.
Yeah.
And many times that internship itself converts into a full-time job, right? So I think it totally makes sense. Also, and this is something that a lot of students who don't do engineering in India face. Most of your Indian bachelor's programs are 3-year programs, right? So the sort of liberal arts program that you did was also a 3-year program, and that does not make you eligible for most of the top universities in the US because they expect a 4-year bachelor's degree. So how did you go about overcoming that?
My university does provide an additional 1-year postgraduate diploma program, which I'm doing right now, to make up for the 4 years of undergrad that US considers. So that is what I did. I made sure to enroll for this program. A lot of people try to cover up for their 3-year degree with 2 to 3 years of work experience, which also helps them. But again, like you said, it's very restrictive. Their rules are very solid that way, so they won't change it for just
right. Did you also find that some universities are not okay with a PG diploma as an add-on to complete your 4th year and are looking for a master's program or something like that? Or did you come across those instances?
I think I was trying to apply to USC's marketing analytics program, and they said that they would accept a 3-year plus a 2-year master's or a 4-year undergrad, but not a 3+1 like I've done.
Correct. So USC is University of Southern California
for their marketing analytics program.
Okay. So, but it was not a major issue having done a PG diploma. There were still enough options that were available. I mean,
definitely.
You did lose out on a USC or something like that, but
Yeah.
I think many of the other universities that you applied to are equally good or better?
Yeah, they are becoming more open to it because other countries also have a 3-year bachelor's program, so they are open to 3+1 or 3+2 these days.
Okay, so out of the 4 universities, okay, actually even before that, what made you apply to only 4 universities? Because many students end up applying to 7, 8, 10 universities. So your approach was a lot more focused. So what determined that?
Well, I was very sure of what I wanted to do, in what tuition bracket I wanted to do it in, and where I wanted to do. So I did not apply. I wasn't going there just for the sake of going there. I knew that if I'm going there, I want to do this, and that's it. So which is why I only applied to 4. If I didn't get in, I would do something in India.
Okay, fair enough. And which out of these 4 did you get an admit from?
I got an admit from University of Arizona, University of Rochester, and UC Irvine.
UC Irvine. So then, now that you got admits from these 3, how did you sort of evaluate them against each other, and what made you finalize UC Irvine?
So I looked at the curriculum, like I said. For me, the major battle was between UC Irvine and University of Rochester because their curriculum is very similar. Just that UC Irvine gives you better elective options in terms of more business-driven courses and electives. And I like the location of UC Irvine better because I'm from Mumbai, so I have no experience dealing with COVID or anything like that. So, and it's a much livelier environment, as I've heard from students I've spoken to from both universities. And even cost-wise, they were coming up to similar ranges because I got scholarships in both universities, which is why the fight was fairly brutal, but I came out with UC Irvine in the end.
Okay, so you got scholarships from both UC Irvine and University of Rochester.
Yes.
So what was there a specific application process for the scholarships, or did they just consider or offer you a scholarship based on the admission application that you had submitted?
It was based on the admission application, so everybody who applies is automatically considered for a merit-based scholarship.
Okay, so and what do you think in your profile sort of helped you a little bit in terms of getting a scholarship?
I think my educational background itself is quite interesting and it stands out from the profiles they might be getting. And like I said, I did a lot of research, I have a lot of research experience, and I participated in a lot of extracurricular, co-curricular activities, which I think helped boost my profile because they supported it in the right ways for those programs.
Yeah. I think that's an important point because sometimes what happens is most of us have this preconceived notion that scholarships are generally based on grades, right? And higher your grades, higher the chances of getting a scholarship, which is not entirely wrong, but many times universities are looking for people who come from diverse backgrounds, right? So and if they find a profile which is different compared to like 90% of the rest of the class, they do really want that student to join that university, which sort of increases your chances of getting a scholarship. And then we've seen that so many times, students who come with a slightly different background usually have a much higher chance of getting a scholarship.
Right, yeah.
Great. So what next? I mean, what are you looking forward to? Because you still, you'll start your education this year in September. So are you sort of excited about going to the US, going to UC Irvine? What are the things that you're looking forward to?
I am very excited because I've been following up their social media pages a lot. So I'm excited to explore the university, and I recently came across their recreation center, which is very cool. They have a climbing wall, they have fitness classes, all of those things which I enjoy. Then Irvine itself is it's a quiet town, but it's close enough to LA and lively places like that. So I'm excited to explore that. And there's a beach near Irvine, it's called Huntington Beach, where they have like an annual corgi day or something. So I love dogs, so I'm excited to see that too.
Nice. And I mean, it's going to be a complete change as well. So are there, is there a little bit of apprehension, nervousness, etc.?
Yeah, definitely. I don't know how to cook, so I have to get trained for that.
Okay. Nice. So tell me something, Tanaya. Now that you've gone through this entire process, for someone who is from a background similar to yours, someone who's done a little bit of liberal arts but is looking at going to the US for a STEM program, what advice would you have? What are the things that they should focus on? What are the things they should do, perhaps not do?
Well, I would say that if you want to go directly after your undergraduation, you have to put in more effort on your profile this is something I heard from one of my professors, that in US they value research experience a lot. So, and it also helps you understand what you yourself like. So I would say get a lot of research experience, because professors are always doing research whichever university you're at. So that would help. Then participate in case studies and competitions, things like that, because that also helps boost your profile a lot. And even extracurriculars which other people normally wouldn't have, like community service is also highly valued, I think. So those are kind of some things you can do to boost your, to show them that you are fit for this program, that you can fit in there very well. I think those are a few things, and if you want to go after a few years of work experience, that would also help a lot.
Okay, interesting. So, last question to finish this conversation off. After completion of your education, what are your sort of goals in the US in the first 2 or 3 years?
In the first 2 or 3 years, right now I'm looking to maybe get into consulting roles or research-based roles, because that is where my strength also lies, and I feel like those roles are very diverse. You get to work on very different projects. So as a person who's coming from a non-STEM background, it will give me the kind of exposure that people with work experience already have. So I'm looking forward to work in consulting firms after my graduation.
Okay, wonderful. Look, I think Tanaya, that was really nice, really useful. I think students who are in similar positions such as yours will benefit tremendously from your sort of experience and your suggestions. I think what we'd love to do is, after you finish your program, I'd love to have a chat once again to understand a little more about how the program went, what changes sort of happened in your perspective, profile, etc.